Well, back guys, to Fog Entertainment, and we are again on Screen Rant. Usually we use Collider, but it's time to react to 10 episodes of The Sopranos that are considered masterpieces. Oh yeah, and according to them, number one changed television. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Now this list is about a month old, but you know what, who cares? What do I expect to be on here? Pine Barrens, the finale, the Blue Comet, the college episode, the one where Adriana gets killed, those type of episodes, like the one with Ralph probably as well. So let's dive into it. So number 10, The Sopranos. Now I think the first one was just called The Pilot, so season 1, episode 1. I mean, I like this episode. I can absolutely understand why it's called a masterpiece. I really love the introduction to the show. I really love the fact that they integrated like the psychiatrist into it, Dr. Melfi. But for me, I think that would have just suited being... I think an episode would have been too short, but I think it was a great way to introduce it that way. But the reality is, did Dr. Melfi as a psychiatrist need to last all the way through from... this episode to the penultimate episode of the series? I'm going to go absolutely not. But for me, is this episode a masterpiece? Yeah, because what you got to bear in mind is, right, is it the greatest pilot of all time? It might not be, right? You might have a better one, right? But the reality is, this was like one of a kind, the first of its kind. And it always will have its place in the history of television. So, fair play to The Sopranos and David Chase. Up next, The Knight in White Satan Armor. So, yeah, obviously... it's the episode where Janice kills Richie. I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere. Is that why it's considered a masterpiece more than others? Probably. I wouldn't be overly surprised by that opinion. But at the same time, I'm not going to completely 100% say it's a masterful piece ending. Because I remember when I watched this for the first time, like, bunch of years ago now, man, but I was more frustrated by the fact that Janice had killed Richie because it completely diffused the situation in the Soprano crew when, like, Richie was butting heads with people. So I didn't like that side of things, but some people, the fanboys will bum like this show and pretend, oh, that's what makes it so good, though, because it diffused the situation, blah, blah. Alrighty then, but I wouldn't consider that one a masterpiece. Up next, The Strong Silent Type. Obviously, this episode got a lot going on, but most importantly, you've got Chris's intervention. It's probably one of the most iconic scenes from the show. So, I would probably say this is a masterpiece scene. As for the episode, I don't know if I'd go that far. The intervention sequence obviously elevates, as they're saying here, but the rest of the episode doesn't... I feel like an episode needs to be like a masterpiece throughout. Now, obviously, there is some scenes that just doesn't really matter here. The other 35 minutes could be shite, but for me, no. It's close, but not quite. Employee of the Month. Obviously, this episode, Jesus Rossi rapes Dr. Melfi. A lot of people love this episode because, everyone wants Dr. Melfi to tell Tony and get this Jesus Rossi guy dealt with, but then obviously that's not the way it goes down. So, I think David Chase done a very good job of, not giving fans what they want it, but more what they need it to a degree. And not just, like, completely writing the script to make things 100% satisfaction guaranteed. I respect that about TV shows, but the reality is, I think a lot of TV shows do that to a degree, because if they didn't, then it would be very fucking doom and gloom. You know what I mean? Like the top TV shows always kill people off. I can look at a TV like The Walking Dead used to, but now it doesn't, where it just keeps these characters alive, and it's not giving you, it's giving these loser fans what they want, not what they necessarily need, which is actual impactful deaths. But we'll keep the characters alive, so not good. But yeah, good episode. Whoever did this, well, I kind of hinted at this earlier that Tony would be in here with the Ralph death as well. Good episode here. I have no complaints for this one being in there. I would almost agree with that. Right, so Made in America, the series finale. I mean, obviously the ending gets a lot of love, a lot A lot of hype, damn it. I mean, would I go as far as saying it is like the greatest thing ever, the ending? It's unique. It'll stand the test of time. I don't think another TV show's ever going to go down this route. I mean, obviously, they wouldn't copy it, like, scene for scene, you know, cut by cut, but frame by frame. It's Marmite. Either love it, you don't. But for some reason, I'm in the middle. So, sometimes I like Marmite, sometimes I don't. But, yeah, weird. I can see why people hate it. I can see why people love it. But we'll move on. Fourth, we've got Funhouse. Again, I think this is kind of like the finale one just before, because I think you'll either love these dream sequences or you'll hate them. Like, I think the dream sequences last too long, but I think The Sopranos did a very good job of, like, making this actually feel like dreams. But I think that sucks for me is, like, Tony, like, finds out for 100%, you know, that Big Sal's a rat in his dream. Like, I know he finds the wire in the cigar box, right, and that's his 100% proof, but could you imagine imagine if Hank, instead of sitting down in the bathroom and reading that book to my favourite WW, like he had a dream where he was floating through space and there was rocks and minerals, man. And that's how he found out about Walt or something. Like, I don't know, I just wouldn't. But then some people love Breaking Bad for what it did, and some people love Sopranos for what it did. You know, it's like that Rio Ferdinand. I mean, how about we just appreciate them both, man? Anyway, Long-Term Parking, Season 5, Episode 12. I have no complaints for this. Dario Di Matteo did a fantastic job in this episode. It's probably the most... I mean, I almost go as far as saying it is like the most iconic death in the entire show. And considering how iconic the show is, that's a pretty good thing to have. Moving on, though, to the top two. College, Season 1, Episode 5. I think this episode's massively overrated. Like, I know it's groundbreaking for the time. Oh, look. You know, it's the first ever show to centre around like an anti-hero and the guy's like an actual killer and all that, but the episode's fucking boring, man. It's not all that. Like, it's good, but it's like, how naive do you need to be as a viewer to think that a guy that's like in the mob and a high-ranking one at that is going to be this like lovey-dovey character? He's not going to be that. Of course he's killed people, for fuck's sake. You know, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. You know, it's not like the show was centred around someone who was like Bobby Bacalari, right? Bacalari, where he didn't kill anybody until like halfway through the final season. Now maybe that would work, but it's not like in the first 4 episodes of this show you got the vibes that Tony wasn't a killer, like he was a good guy. You can tell straight away when Bobby's introduced he is a good guy, so maybe they could have went for that route. And then our final option here, Pine Barrens. I knew it'd be Pine Barrens. I mean, I can understand why people can say it's the best episode of the show, and it is iconic, and it's probably the one episode you could watch from The Sopranos as just standalone and, you know, enjoy it that way. Anyway, folks, leave your thoughts down below, and peace.